Independent activity schedules, often referred to as IAS, are common in many ABA programs and classrooms. In this blog, we will address why independent activity schedules are useful.
So I have a student, he's 27 now, and I've been working with him since he was 12. And we taught some independent activity schedules a long time ago. But fast forward to when he's 27, and how does he still use them? They look completely different. They're not picture schedules anymore. He can read, but he's got phone apps, and apps will pop up and remind him to do certain things at certain times. So, he'll go through his day and he has an alarm to wake him up if he's not already up. And then he's got in the bathroom, he's got a showering schedule and it goes through all the steps of the shower. And then he's got, remember, put on deodorant, and he's able to get ready independently in the bathroom. And then, he goes about his day, and then, he has, meal prep, and he follows another schedule for meal prep. So he's got all of these little mini schedules throughout his day, and they're all independent. And I think about how this started, and it really started by teaching an independent activity schedule.
So let's first quickly define what an IES or independent activity schedule is. And it can look different depending on the setting. So generally it could be a schedule of pictures, or it could be a checklist or text. It doesn't have to just be pictures. And it really is like a to-do list, like first do this, then do that, and then do that. And usually the last thing is something more preferred. So you kind of work through your checklist of to-dos, and at the end you get something preferred. And the reason that we teach this is because it's such a huge life skill that our students should be able to work independently. Very often when we're working one-on-one with students, is they become very dependent on somebody taking them through their day and telling them exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And if they don't do it, they're going to help them through it, right? And we mean well when we do that, but we forget that our students really need to be independent. So putting in some sort of IAS schedule means that they can learn to be independent. And what skills are they learning to be independent with? Well, there's a whole bunch of skills that are embedded within this IAS routine. And there's skills like task initiation. So knowing to start your schedule, go to the first thing first. Don't start with the fifth one or the fourth one. Start with the first thing. You get task completion. At the end of each activity, you have to finish the task, put it away, and then travel, find the next task, go and look for it, problem solve. Is that task not there? What if, this is on my schedule, but I don't have the materials to do it? That's a great problem solving skill. Learning how to transition between activities. So if the first task was at this table and the other task is at the other table, I have to know to go from one table to the next. This entire time, the expectation is to stay on task. So you might start by having to stay on task for 2 minutes and build up to a 20-minute IAS activity so that they're able to stay on task for that entire time. And so the more that they can be independent with all of those skills involved in the IAS routine, really they're lifelong skills that they'll use in their entire life.
The real focus is independence. And like Shira said, it's really important not to embed yourself in the teaching interaction, because we want to create independence. So instead of having somebody say, okay, go get this next material. Okay, look, it's over there. Oh, check it out over there. We want to be able to have pictures or text cues, be able to direct our learners to be able to do the next thing. Very similar to, if we wrote ourselves to-do lists, ideally, that to-do list is cueing us to get those things done. I said ideally, but we are cueing our students that way. So when you are teaching it, making sure that you are not embedding yourself in the teaching interaction, trying to be as quiet as you possibly can, standing behind the student when you're teaching so that you're not right beside them and not right in the way, and having them associate you with that task so that you can have them become as independent as possible, so that later on in life, it looks very great when a student can go about their entire day following these mini schedules.
So why is it important for them to be independent for 20 or 30 minutes? Well, if you think about a student in a classroom, they're, hopefully not having one-on-one support, or they're not needing that, but the teacher has to be able to manage all these students, whether there's 10 students or 30 students. Some of the students have to be able to work independently so that the teacher can work with another student, especially students who don't learn well with frontal teaching and need to learn in small groups. While the teacher is working with one small group of students, another group of students could be working independently, and they have the skills to do that for about 20 or 30 minutes. The other reason it's really important is that a lot of the kids that we work with don't know how to fill their time. leisure skills are very challenging for them. Also, either because they're used to somebody helping them through that, or they just don't have the skills to be able to entertain themselves. And it's very demanding. It's very challenging for parents to have them at home without being able to constantly entertain them or manage them. So being able to teach them to go through a 20 or 30-minute leisure activity schedule means that parents can have some time to shower or cook dinner, and the child can be properly engaged with something that they actually enjoy. Because if it's a leisure activity schedule, then they're doing something leisure, something enjoyable, and they're able to do it independently.
So in terms of taking data on this, we'll take data on, either the number of prompts we have to give, and hopefully those prompts will decrease over time, or we'll write down a task analysis. So it'll say things like, okay, here's the first task, second task, here goes and gets this material, completes the material, puts it back, goes and checks on the next thing, et cetera, et cetera. So embedded in this video is a free task analysis checklist. So take a look at that as well.
Yeah, we love to use the task analysis to be able to break it down so that you can see what might be falling apart at each step. Are they not able to move from one task to the next? Are they not able to put it away? What is happening that they're struggling with? And the task analysis will really give you that idea.
So in summary, we defined what an independent activity schedule is, but more importantly, why do we use an independent activity schedule? And that can be for a variety of reasons, but the main reason being independence, both at school and at home.
So click on the link in or around this video to get your free task analysis template.